Okay.
Okay. No, stop, Tanner. I want to start off by having you think about your childhood and any ads you remember, and I'll give you a second to think about it. Hi, my name is Taylor Bates. I'm going to be talking to you about the issue of harmful marketing to kids. Why you should listen, because I, as well as you, have been affected by this issue. I'm majoring in marketing, so I have a clear interest in this topic. I'm going to go over the different techniques that are used, examples today, as well as what we can do about this issue. I'm going to start off by explaining why kids are an important demographic to reach. Kids influence parents, their purchases, and they eventually become the future consumer. So while they're impressionable, this is the time for brands to mold them into how they want them to be in the future. According to a 2018 report from Barclay, Gen Zers aged 16 to 21 in the U.S. spend an estimated $143 billion a year. This statistic excludes purchases by parents or kids, or for kids, and it also excludes indirect influence on household purchases. So this goes to show that they are an important part of the economy. Now onto the techniques that are used. Nowadays we see more digital marketing than ever. This is on social media platforms, streaming networks, things like that. But all this is done through an algorithm. So all the information you upload onto the internet, whether you realize or not, is being collected and saved, and they narrow down your interests and capitalize on those things, and they show you what you want to see. For those that do not receive or see advertisements this way, they can see it through TV commercials. From the American Psychological Association, they say it's estimated that advertisers spend more than $12 billion per year to reach the youth market, and that children view more than 40,000 commercials each year. Of these commercials and ads in digital marketing, they typically use bold colors and bright visuals to bring young people, catch their eye. Marketing in general likes to target emotion rather than intellect, which is hard for children to differentiate until they get older, so they take advantage of that. Now onto the examples. The two I'm going to be talking about deal with public health. The first one, I'm going to be talking about e-cigarettes, and specifically the Juul company. So, as you can see on the slideshow, they use a lot of advertisements that go to that target young people. When they first launched, the flavor pods they used were like fruit medley, creme brulee, things like that that are not like typically associated with tobacco use. The company Juul, or the Juul itself, is used to try to help adults that are addicted to cigarettes wane off of that and be less addicted to cigarettes. But the New York Times interviewed Maura Healey, the Massachusetts Attorney General, about her view on the company, and she said that from our perspective, this is not about getting adults to stop vaping. This is about getting kids to start vaping and make money and have them as customers for life. This goes back to what I was saying earlier about how they're trying to mold young people into consumers and brand loyalty later on. The next example I'm going to talk about is marketing from junk food and fast food places. They use a lot of like characters like the tiger on Frosted Flakes and things like that to grab your attention. This marketing encourages bad eating habits and can also lead to the problem we have with obesity in this country as well as the world, which is also a public health issue. So what can we do about this? By being aware and noticing these harmful ads and their messages, we can start conversations which can lead to political action. Right now, there's not a lot of strong action being done right now. From the Federal Trade Commission, they have the FTC Act, and kind of in summary, they say it asks whether the challenge, representation, or practice is one that would likely deceive a consumer's conduct or choice regarding a product or service. So, as you can tell, it's a very blanket statement, and there's not enough barriers put up against these companies. Also, as well, consumers, we have the power to, we have more power than we think by not purchasing items from these companies that are using harmful marketing that hurts their business, and they have to listen to us in order to keep their business going. So again, this will spark political change. To round this off, I want to say that I have talked about the different techniques that are used, modern examples of harmful marketing, as well as what we can do to solve this issue. Thank you for listening, and are there any questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
When did the government step in regarding e-cigarettes?
That's a good question. So the question asked was, when did the government step in regarding e-cigarettes? So from the scope of research I did, I noticed a lot, or specifically with the Juul, they changed their pod flavors last year in 2019. That's when the FDA kind of like noticed that. While there have always been rules with the FDA, they were never enforced. So 2019 was when they finally, people were starting to sue the company, which enabled them to make changes.
What do you think is the most harmful example of marketing towards children?
What is the most?
Yep. In your opinion, what is the most harmful one? What's the most dangerous one?
So the question, good question. The question asked was, what is the most harmful type of marketing to kids? I don't want to be objective in my own opinion, but what I have noticed is the most harmful on a more like statistical level is those that affect your physical capacity as well as your mental capacity. So like I mentioned with the e-cigarettes, as well as fast food. Others to mention include any advertisements that objectify women or portray any like ideal body image for either boy or girl. This promotes bad self-image and can lead to other illnesses down the road and other like mental illnesses later on. Okay, thank you for listening. You can stop, yeah.